T-Series guy had come to LA and he wanted to have a meeting with me and my manager. We just need Anthem. So I was like trying to push this. And the guy straight up said, but how can you sing for the song You're a Woman? The main character is a man. One time I was like reversing out of my apartment in LA and like some guy was like walking across the road and I could see him. Then he just started sprinting towards me like this and hit the car. Brothers were naturally encouraged to be in sport, where I was encouraged to be in art and stay out of the sun. Yeah. Yes. College, I got to study religion.
Yeah.
Like I feel like if I was a man in my family, there would have not been a conversation about me studying religion. They would have been like, you're going to engineering school, medical school, or law school, or what are you doing? They definitely make a big deal out of me having curves. And the thing is, I just am who I am. I fluctuate. Of course, I body shame regularly. Like every day I go in my comments, I delete the really mean ones because it's my page. Why do they get to have room in my page calling me such foul things? I always put a picture of women in the temples that are sculpted and I go like, literally, I have this body. I'm like, this is literally me.
They've written a cool intro for you, Raja. Swag, talent और एकदम solid attitude के साथ आज हमारे साथ हैं ना सिर्फ माइक पे बट कैमरे पे भी राजा कुमारी. Welcome to the Male Feminist. Super part by Clovia.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love it. I love these conversations. I feel like we get to talk about deeper topics and it's a lot of fun.
We speak about gender roles very extensively. How was your upbringing kind of shaping those gender roles? क्या समझ में आ रहा था घर पे जो हो रहा था उसके हिसाब से?
I didn't realize that by my dad being the provider and my mom being like the homemaker, that I somehow subconsciously thought that like men's time was more important and valuable and we were there to like supplement them. But I've lived a very different life now. You know, I've made my own company. I'm doing all the things that are considered like male attributes. I'm taking care of myself. And it's kind of interesting because I feel like I'll like fall into that sometimes. Like if I get something I'm changing, but I found in the past, if I got around someone that had masculine energy, that had like a plan for me, I would submit. But what I've come to understand through time is that this is the best source, the connection to source, because it's beyond gender, you know? It's just like because we've lived so many lives. I always say like my past life must have been like a conquering king, and that's why I chose Raja, and I like get really offended when people treat me like a woman, like I'm like, how dare you? It's himmat. Like I get all crazy. So I'm like, that must be a past life thing. So I don't know, I think knowing yourself is beyond gender, but definitely I picked up the things that came in the time periods. But my parents are very progressive. I don't think they tried to create those.
But they were also progressing during their time.
Yeah, they were progressive in ways that like my dad was very much like follow your bliss. That was something he would say, like, and he would let me try all kinds of things, you know.
Tell me this, you must have those seen girls and boys treated differently, right? हमें सबको वो बचपन में देखने को मिलता है. उसकी वजह से भी तो gender roles reiterate हो रहे हैं.
Yeah, and I'm trying to understand this. I feel, then it's interesting. Like my brothers were naturally encouraged to be in sports, where I was encouraged to be in art and stay out of the sun.
Yes.
Do dance and music and stay out of the sun. So that plays into the beauty standards of our culture and whatnot. But I would say there's like a pro and con, I think, like in every situation. Maybe they didn't let me do all these sports things, and maybe for me personally, I'm sure maybe there was other things I could have been really good at. But I also had there was a protection of my energy in a way, and I was able to develop as a musician, and I was able to, like my brothers, I don't think they had a choice. My elder brother is a neurosurgeon. Middle brother went to law school and business school, and his company is in Forbes, you know, so everyone's doing their thing. And in college, I got to study religion.
Yeah.
Like I feel like if I was a man in my family, there would have not been a conversation about me studying religion. They would have been like, you're going to engineering school, medical school, or law school, or what are you doing?
Last time we didn't speak about your neighborhood and like a girl growing up in LA and how safety of a girl. मतलब कितना, when you walked on the street, were there catcalling, any untoward incidents?
Oh yeah, one time I was like reversing out of my apartment in LA and like some guy was like walking across the road and I could see him. Then he just started sprinting towards me like this and hit the car. And I just was like, "Arr!" And I was like, if he had come in front of me, I was gonna run him over.
Yeah, it's scary.
I mean, it's scary. It's definitely scary. And I think it's scary everywhere. I understand that things can shift in a moment. And I think that women have to always be like hyper vigilant.
Yeah.
Yes. And know like the exits, and I'll just be counting things. And I also live a life where I'm in Mumbai, and I have gone, when I used to party, when I first came, I don't party now, but like I would get in a rickshaw at 2 a.m. and I felt like the safest person in the world. And like I would
Mumbai.
just, you know, like I would know that like that wasn't the best decision, but like it panned out for me that I was okay, you know, and I know that that's not always the case in a lot of the interiors, and I don't know the answer to that. I can only try to empower women to like be aware and like, you know how to protect yourself. My brother told me, you just kick him in the and step on their throat. So I was like, okay. My brother was like, just do this and step on their throat and run.
Yeah. Boys always teaching their sisters.
Yeah, so I mean, like, I think in India for sure, my friends just like, my friend's assistant was on the bus and somebody was being disgusting, and now she was like traumatized, and we're like, don't go on the bus, take a rickshaw when you go home. Like, you know, like that kind of stuff. We all have to support each other as a community. But you've
never been, you know, like had any incidents in India at all, right?
I mean, I could think back to when I was a kid and it happened. Like being in the car and there's just some dude standing there naked on the side of the road.
Is laughing your trauma response?
I don't know. I mean, what do we? Yeah, laughing is comedy is my trauma response.
Yeah.
No, I think that through therapy, through like understanding the emotions, we can't hide from the experiences. Like we all chose to be born here.
But what had happened?
No, people. I mean, in India.
No, like you've had incidents.
All of us. I think all girls, all females from the South Asian culture either have experienced childhood sexual trauma or have somebody that's close to them that experienced it with someone that was close to the family. Not necessarily their parents, something like that, but I'm saying someone close to the family you're supposed to trust, right? And a lot of times this happens like before 7 years old, which is like the most important time for, you know, formation of the self. And as I am someone who's, you know, constantly inward and constantly trying to understand, you know, why I feel certain ways, I've noticed that happening to me at a young age affected so much. If you go back in time, you know, I'm like about history, it's like these things happen in the world. We obviously we need to teach our boys to have respect for women all the way from the beginning, and that comes in what's mirrored. Like it can even be as light as like how I was saying, like my dad's time was like more important, so it made me think mine wasn't as important. It's like we have to like take apart these ideas slowly, and we'll make an impact on the public, of course. And I think we need to work more about supporting people, educating people on different, you know, trauma responses.
आप बताओ मुझे 2017 you're talking about like let's say a performance. वहाँ पर कितनी महिलाएं हैं?
I mean, there'd be some managers like some of the managers might be female.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I think there was like a few females in the behind the scenes space. But I'm like artist-wise, like definitely I'm not taking from anybody that was working at that time, but I just didn't feel like it was enough exposure for these incredible artists. And you know, now you're seeing so many more opportunities.
But today how's the scene changed?
Describe changed so
how many women you're seeing.
No, I mean, you can see a lineup with like 5 women on it. Okay, I wouldn't want to celebrate like, yay, we made it. I still want to see a full female lineup. That's always been my dream. And you know, I'm putting one foot in front of the other and, you know, trying to work towards that, because I feel there's so much talent in this country, and the only way to get better is to have opportunities and understand and learn the stage and learn to control the audience. And when you open for an artist that has an established audience, you get to like borrow and experience them, and you know, like it teaches you so much about crowd control, about energy. And if you don't give people a chance to get on stage and they're only doing reels or they're only online, between an online artist and a real life musical artist, which I hope, you know, everybody has the experience to become. You know, we all start with like tracks, especially in hip hop, but you've seen such an evolution in this country to having full bands and like musicians, and I want that for everybody. So 100%. They need more chances to perform. So I love seeing everybody find their place, and like I think having a pop band that's purely pop in India is a really, like we had that before. There was a
17 years ago.
Yes, and a lot of it was like Shibani and Viva. Yeah, like there's obviously that was like the first experiment in it that I'm aware of, and I learned about it after. It didn't, reach all the way to me as a kid. But it's fun that people have the opportunity
today
to hear different genres, but an Indian face. Like, that's just really wonderful. Like, I love...
And hear our struggles. I mean, the lyrics speak of our lives.
Yeah, and also just, it's very aspirational, because I think we didn't get to really see anybody like that looked like us, and unless they were like cast into very like stereotypical roles or, fit into whatever box they needed us to fit into. And I love seeing people break all these boundaries and,
Yeah, this brings me to a special segment that we have on the show. It's Super Powered by Clovia. We talk about something that rarely gets the attention that it deserves. Basically, it's been overtly sexualized, I think, which is lingerie. For the longest time, conversations around lingerie have been hushed, almost like something that we are embarrassed about. I'm not even sure why.
Unless you're like the shopkeeper here who's just hanging and he's like, what size do you want? You're like, uncle, 30, 60. Yeah.
Thanks to online. What did you just do? You're cool, Raja. This is why we have her on the show. Yeah, lekin we fail to acknowledge that every woman has a unique body type, and yet many women remain unaware about their current size, because every year you can get checked and you'll realize that it'll change.
You gotta measure.
Yes.
Yes.
But like Clovia offers solution-based lingerie for 9 body types and 50 plus sizes.
9 body types, baby.
Yeah. And they have this interesting brand message, which is happy is my superpower.
Happy is my superpower.
So we always end with asking what happiness means to you and how is it your superpower?
Ooh, happiness. Wow, it's changed so much. I'd say happiness for me now is just like being in alignment, like making decisions from alignment. Like sometimes we end up saying no to a big project, but I feel like it was the right thing to do. So happiness for me is just being my authentic self. Yeah.
Have you ever felt that Indian media focuses more on your looks and body type than your talent?
I'll like finish an interview and say like one thing, and then the new headline is like, I'm not plus size. I'm like, who the said anything about that? Like, I can't even believe that happened. My favorite thing people ask me, not favorite like I like it, but it's so preposterous, is how do you have the confidence to do what you do?
I'm sorry?
How do you have the confidence?
Really?
I feel like that's so loaded, because I'm like, because I'm fat? Like, what are you saying, lady? But
what?
No, it's funny. Everybody has their own perspective. Dude, my mom was like, she weighed nothing when she was married. So it's like everybody has their ideas, and sometimes it's out of love. They're like, oh, you'll do so much better if you look like this. We want the best for you. Do this. So it's not always like mean.
No, I completely understand.
They just don't know how to like shape it, because it's not something that we talk about. Like, no one even accepted that was mean to say to someone until recently, But I would say like they definitely make a big deal out of me having curves. And the thing is, I just am who I am. I fluctuate, like you were saying, like I fluctuate depending on the part of the month it is, what part of the cycle I'm at. And like, I fluctuate. If I'm, before I would kind of get depressed sometimes and I wouldn't eat. It'd go the opposite.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so people think sometimes you get depressed and gain weight, but
so what do we eat?
I don't know. And then like inflammation and all those things. And I know Vidya Balan was talking about this.
I've been on the same diet as
if your hormones are off, like as a woman, it affects so much.
No, but like, is there a perfect body?
No, I think there's a perfect body for you. I think like people's like, if your like shoulders are wide, you're never gonna be like that. I think just like there's a health. There's a way to feel really good. There's a way that like, you're actually taking care of your body. It's running on a proper cycle. You're sleeping. You're doing these things. Then like whatever your body ends up in that time, then that's what your body looks like. Not everybody is supposed to be like have a 6-pack and athletic. If you look at the sculptures, which I always bring up, I always put a picture of women in the temples that are sculpted, and I go like, literally, I have this body. I'm like, this is literally me. So I just keep that in my mind whenever the idea of beauty changes constantly. It was curvy and Kim Kardashian 5 years ago. Now it's like heroin chic, and that's bizarre. So I just stick with the temple sculptures. Devi, that's it. That's it. I look like Devi, I'm happy.
But confidence we associate karte ho aap kai baar body type or shape ke sath. Is there a correlation of like that for you? Was there at one point?
I think confidence comes in knowing your body and how to dress it. And actually, like, since I've been so deep in fashion, I think I've understood, like, different silhouettes work for my body. Like if I cover this section, it makes me feel so confident because my arms are covered. Everyone has their own things. Or like if the waist is really snatched, like even adding this, when I stand up, you can see the curvature of my body, which makes me feel confident. If I'm like in something that's like super oversized because I'm trying to hide my body, it doesn't look right. So I think like learning how to dress your body, so it was just about putting in that time to like again learn what looks good on me and try different things, and then now I feel confident in whatever I wear if I feel good in it.
What are the challenges you find for looking for your right fit when you've been out there looking at lingerie for yourself?
Oh, lingerie fit. No, I think, again, same thing. I feel like I'm always measuring, like whenever, especially like in India versus America, like I might know my sizes in some of the brands, but in India it's been about like exploring and you know, trying different things. Definitely do the measurements, and again, like I said with the clothes, just get the size. Do not try to be a size that you think in your mind and then you're just like falling out of it or it doesn't fit you. I just say get the clothes. And look, like from brand to brand, like some brands I'm a medium, some brands I'm a triple XL. Like that is literally, so I can't take those like tags seriously because it's like I'm still the same body. Like I don't know how it's that relative. So I would say I think like just find one that fits because that's the most important thing, so that you feel really sexy and you can have the confidence start from, you know how women feel if their panties and bra are matching. That's like massive confidence moment. So, yeah.
यार ये बताओ कि do labels like these bother you? Plus size or thick or what else do we have? Curvy. You said it just now.
Plus size made me laugh because like I got a job the other day and they're like plus size and I'm like how serious are they about those words? Can they give me another branding? Because I mean, I don't know. They're just words. You attach the meaning to it. I think that would have triggered me a lot more before, but because maybe I didn't feel like in control or I was trying to lose weight and I was doing it the wrong way. Now I'm like really taking care of myself. So whatever I am, I am. However you see me, you see me. But
that's sundar.
I'm just living.
But you've never been body shamed in life?
Of course, I'm body shamed regularly. Like every day I go in my comments, I delete the really mean ones because it's my page. Why do they get to have room in my page calling me such foul things? I block people daily. I block randoms every day. If they have something really rude to say, I'll just block them. You don't belong here in Kumari Kingdom. I don't block like if they're mad at me about something, like I've said something wrong. I wouldn't delete those, but if you're calling me fat or just mean,
and that's all they'll come and do. Go on all posts and just do that.
And then it's like so weird because it's like you must like it's a woman on the picture, but they have no followers. So I'm like, it's a man behind a woman's picture body shaming me. Like this is confusing. What if it's even a bot body shaming me? That's even worse. So I just delete everybody.
That's so true. I mean, you've collaborated with Dee MC, and I keep seeing how there's a certain group of people trying to compare her to X, Y, or Z. बट आई एम लाइक यार तुम्हें आइडिया भी नहीं है कि लड़की लोग को इधर तक पहुंचने में कितना गया और तुम लोग उनको ऑलरेडी ये सब बोल रहे हो, तो अभी कितनी बैटल्स चालू हो गई हैं महिलाओं के लिए?
Dude, I feel like I'm always bringing up Dee MC in my interviews because I'm just like I have so much respect for her to have done this in Mumbai as a child, to like come up loving hip hop, being so far away from hip hop. I grew up in LA. I was able to interact with these musicians by the time I was like 20. I was in studios with them, and it's like to create something like that and to stay resilient. And you know, the Indian hip hop scene, the Desi hip hop scene is not very welcoming to women. Like they are if you fit in the box, you know, they are if you supplement someone else or that you don't
attachment.
If you don't challenge them to become better, you know, like I think that they're very comfortable with us in that space as long as we don't challenge them. And I think she challenges people because she's authentically who she is and she's willing to evolve in front of you, you know. She's like constantly trying new styles of music, and I just have like a lot of love and support for her because I just feel like sometimes I see the way people treat her online, I want to beat their ass. I'm like, hello? You know, that's it. That's
Dee MC.
She knows.
You want this vocal, you know, curt person if some men will call you, because they'll be like, how is she giving it back? Because a lot of times men are expecting you to comply as a woman, and then just you coming back at them could be like, oh my god.
I don't know. I think in America, I guess, whether that would happen now or not, but the golden period I grew up in America, I think they would put in our mind that, you know, everything is possible if you believe. Pull yourself up by your own bootstraps and just get out there and get it done. So I think I brought that energy to India, which I think was refreshing at the time because especially hip hop being so male dominated, they were setting the trends, they were setting the rules. And I was coming from a different education. You know, I had been in Los Angeles and I had the confidence because I had written songs for people and I had done a lot. So it was very difficult for people to make me bow down in the beginning.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the process too. It's not like, oh, because I think you and the ego has to be reconciled throughout time. And I think it's been very easy for me to make the character of Raja Kumari because I can always separate. I'm like, wow, she's, you don't want to. But me, I'll take, that's fine. You know, like, but now I'm working on making sure
But have you
both
been
sides.
called all of those things?
I saw a post that said, what is the purpose of Raja Kumari? And then it was like, but people have been nicer lately, I would say.
Do you think they would have been more accepting if you continued with your first collaborator? Because for them, having an attachment as a woman artist,
No, but I've
female
had so
artist
many
sometimes-
collaborators. I've worked with
Yeah.
every single team. I've worked with everybody. Like I think I'm like that's one of my things
You're
is
able
like
to traverse.
the like unexpected collab. You know, I feel like that's one of my like cards that I like to play because I'm a genre rebel. I can do anything. Like I was with Ali Sethi singing Pasuri at Coachella, so it's like you can never really predict, you know, what I'm gonna do. But I think the Desi hip hop scene for now is getting like international like kind of collabs and stuff, and it's gonna grow just like any other plant. Right now, maybe they're only focused on, you know, the few artists that they believe are the world, and I think that those artists need their communities. So who am I to be upset that they don't?
No dissing nobody.
No, I'm just saying like if the young boys don't know what my purpose is, then they'll find out. They'll figure it out, you know. There's nothing you can do to bury someone's work, you know. Like it's easy to say something when it's like a few months or like she's NRI and then I made a song called NRI, and then it's like she's Dekhna tu mera ye chehra, then I made Made in India, and I think like yeah, I was like I'm Indian, I'm not Indian.
Yeah.
Everyone sees this and sees Indian, you know. But I think like whenever someone discovers me, they have 10 years of work to go.
यार शाहरुख खान के सवाल खत्म नहीं हुए. Is he a male feminist?
Of course he is. I think that he's so empowering. Like one of the things I would say is like I had experienced a couple years back, I met like somebody that was, you know, T-series guy had come to LA and he wanted to have a meeting with me and my manager. And I'm like, okay, you know, I'm trying to get into Bollywood. I'm trying to convince them, like, you know, we need like these big anthemic songs. Like we have all these huge films. You have like Brahmastra. We have all these things like we need big anthemic songs that come in the end that don't have to be part of the film. No one has to sing along. We just need anthems. So I was like trying to push this. And the guy straight up said, but how can you sing for the song You're a Woman? The main character is a man. And I just was shocked. I thought, how could you have dinner with me? You just wasted 3 hours of my time. I thought I was getting a job. So that stuck with me. And I was like, you know, and I played whatever role was asked of me, like, you know, sprinkling my little thing. And, you know, it would take someone like Shah Rukh Khan, you know, to make a film that had so much empowerment and then choose a woman's voice to make his theme song. Because it's like anytime you see a video of him, like Aifa, whatever, it's like, it's my voice. I'm just like,
there is the King Khan on the
Run with
the whole
Khan, pull this rain down like it's thunder.
yeah.
I know you want me to sing it. Want to sing it?
Why not?
All right.
I have the opportunity to have you.
Okay. I'll give you like a vibey version. Okay. Running with King Khan, bullets rain down like it's thunder. Ready or not, she got the Glock, she'll put you under. You know it's game time on the front line till it's over. Deep in the trenches for ya, like a soldier. Oh. And the story with that is that like, they gave me no time, so they gave me the track. And first I write like in the language of melody. So I'll be like, like run put it down like a it was like this first.
Okay.
Then I'll send them the melody, and if they like it, then I'll start writing words.
Really?
Yeah, but these crazies, they used both. So like when you watch the film, it'll be like
Yes.
yeah. That was my
And
demo.
it is with kickers, so it's going around as well.
Like, yeah, that was my demo.
Oh.
And they loved, and then I wrote English, and then they used that. Basically, yeah, they used both.
As a businesswoman, tell me this. What are the kind of challenges you face building a business, and, you know, what are the new learnings?
Please learn what TDS and GST are. I think like I didn't understand cash flow. Like that was something I used to back in the day think if I made 1 lakh, I could pay someone 1 lakh. No, 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 no. It goes through so much. So I think like financial literacy, like getting an understanding of what you have can help you make like better decisions.
Yeah.
About that. The most important thing to be a musician is to work on finding out who you are. Because when you're authentic and you like know who you are, then you can't be swayed easily. You can obviously try different things, but you're not a victim to trends, because trends go out. They end at some point. So, that's that. And then what were you asking? More the things for business.
Yeah.
So definitely having an understanding of cash flow, which took me a long time to understand. Having a clear brand identity, clear identity about yourself. Because that's the thing people come to you for, is like your grasp on who you are. That's what you're paid for. And I would say like, I think in the past, music creation was really expensive and there was like a lot of people involved, but I think like now you have the opportunity to teach yourself stuff. Like I would love to see more female like engineers and writers and girls writing for themselves, because a lot of times, especially in the Indian industry, unless you're in hip hop, your songs are being written by lyricists and then you're singing them. So you have less power and control in those situations. So the best way to retain power in this industry is to become a songwriter. Write your parts. Like my parts in films, they can't write it without me. So it's not like I can be separated from it, or not like someone else can come in and sing my part in the end. They can't. So, and that came from songwriting. So I always encourage everybody to like learn their craft and constantly keep evolving, constantly keep studying.
ये बताओ कि generally dating जिंदगी we haven't heard about.
अरे बाप रे, dating जिंदगी. Hi. I tried to go on Bumble, but then when I would like put my pictures without makeup, people would screenshot it and put it on Instagram and be like, Didi, someone has a fake profile. And I'm like, damn it. So then, and then I would like, and then if I was on Bumble, I'd have to check like, who are your favorite artists, just to see if my enemies are in there. Just, I don't want to deal with you if you're excited when I don't want to listen. So that was its own thing, and that didn't really work out. And then my parents like got a matchmaker, but I think it was in 2020. So
Sima Aunty? No.
I have actually met Sima Aunty.
Really?
I made my agents connect us because I was
She's fab, yeah.
I was like, Sima Aunty. And then the thing is, I didn't fill out the paperwork, so I suck. I like did the whole thing. I made her meet my parents, and she's like, fill out the like questionnaire, and I was like, this is the time I run, so I don't know. And I've learned a lot through all my experiences, and all of my lessons were to value myself, And I don't mean it that I value myself more than a man. I just want to be in a partnership where I'm valued, where I can pour into you, you can pour into me.
Yeah, and then this thing may change accordingly.
Yeah.
Or theirs may change accordingly to fit into yours.
And now that I'm not like in my early 20s as my mom wanted me to be when I was getting married, I think that it's like two individuals that decide to live in tandem but still like have a life, which is like maybe our parents' generation, it was a lot more like codependent and that was like what was mirrored to them. But if we're gonna be the generational trauma breakers, then I think for me, because a lot of times a couple years ago, my mom would like bring me some like biodata, something would come up. She'd be like, the parents want to know when you're gonna give this up.
Oh.
So I was like, what? What do you mean give this up? When am I done? What do you mean when am I done? I'm Grammy nominated. What do you want me to do? I want to win the Grammy. I want to get an EGOT. What do you mean? Like,
why should you not?
Yeah, so that was like a little bit of the issue before, is like, okay, I don't know, but I'm open, obviously, hello. But I want to meet someone who is emotionally intelligent, who's willing to like talk about things, and be reciprocal, and I love bombing is not necessary, I feel. And I think a lot of people, when they meet me, even though I don't even find myself to be a celebrity or a famous person, it's like really funny to me because I separate. So it's like, I feel like a lot of conversations usually just start and end right there. And it's
about
like,
your work.
Yeah, if someone's going to date me, they have to date Sveta. That's it. So yet to find someone that can get through that, but I'm open.
The dating life that you did have, were you able to tell your partners, whoever, about the pleasure and what you liked or did not like? Were you vocal about all of that?
Well, I think I used to make the mistake of thinking I wanted to like date people that did very similar things to me, but I think now I've learned that people need to be their own people, and like I think the more you can like put down your jobs and like just be human beings is better. But I'll always say what I like and don't like. I'll be like, listen. But I think there's a lot of like emphasis on like physical nature of relationships now, which is like it's like very much the society we live in. But I feel like in the last couple of years, I have gone like straight hermit. Like every time that I would like think like, okay, I should like, maybe this person, everything kept telling me to just go inwards because they don't have the answer. They don't have what you need. If you don't fix the hole inside of you, then this cycle will keep happening with different people. Same lesson, different people. So that's like the process of me making Kashi to Kailash and, you know, like taking that year off and like visiting, you know, temples and slowing my time, like slowing myself down, learning archery because it was something I wanted to learn. And now I feel I'm in a place where I could actually have a real relationship.
And how can men be better allies?
We don't always want a solution. I think sometimes we just want someone to hold space. Just like, be like, yeah, that does suck. I can't believe that happened. Do you want some hot cocoa? And you're like, yes, that's what we want. We want to be, I think like, especially as a woman in business, like if I'm outside and I'm fighting the world and I'm so strong, it's like we want to come home and just like let all that go. And I think like maybe if men can understand energetically how to take care of a tired lady, a tired boss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What should men stop telling women?
How to feel. And also that it doesn't matter. I think like feelings matter, whether it's good, bad, if it's upsetting. If you just take a moment and like allow it to pass through you, you don't hold it in, then, you know, it's better for us. It doesn't turn into disease and issues later.
Yeah. So what is feminism to you?
Feminism to me is support. It feels like a community and it feels like not being gaslit, I guess. Sometimes we feel like we're really powerful and then people try to tell us that it's not. And then you hear other women that you're inspired by tell you the truth and you can make those decisions. So it's nice to have a community.
Thank you so much for being on the Male Feminist, Raja.
I always love
You've always been kind. We have a special hamper for you from Clovia.
I love presents.
Yeah.
That I've said. Yay. This is the right thing. Oh, happy is my superpower. Thanks, guys.
Yes. Bye, guys. आप लोगों को कैसा लगा? Please comments में बताना. Like, share, comment and subscribe. Bye, guys. This is me, Siddharth, signing off.